On this episode of Relationship 911, we have a question from Teddy. This is a pretty challenging one.
Okay.
So Teddy is newly married and loves his new wife. He also has a child from a previous marriage, and he says, I don't love the way my new wife parents my child. So what does he do?
So I really think, Teddy, you need to get really clear. Like, what is the rules and reasons behind the way you wish that she would parent differently? And I think that it's such a new time, you want to be very careful not to crush her involvement. You know, if she feels like she's being picked on, or she's being scrutinized, or she's being watched for how she says what she says and does what she does, she's not going to build her own way into the rapport with your child. And she's not going to feel like she's working with you towards something. Often she'll feel like isolated, separate, outside of you and your child. So that can be really off-putting and very challenging for a new marriage. And because you love her so much, if you can have love and compassion for her just as you do for your child, as she's going through, imagine your child doing something brand new for the first time, and they don't do it how you would do it or how you would say to do it, or you coach them and you give them feedback and they still don't do it the way that you say. How would you approach your child? Would you have compassion for them? Would you have love for them? Or would you rip them a new one and tell them how stupid they were? I mean, most parents are very generous and compassionate with their kids as they're learning new things. Obviously, I don't know how old your child is, but easing into the conversations, acknowledging what's great, showing the way you wish her to parent instead of telling her how she needs to do it differently, can all be really a contribution to helping her grow and learn and be with you through the process, as opposed to feeling isolated and pushed aside.
Great. I just saw the details. His child's 45. I'm kidding. I think that's perfect coaching. And I really like the fact that you brought compassion into it and that this is new. So I think the thing that I would really bring forward is when you're in a new marriage, there's lots of new stuff. And it's not necessarily just about parenting. It's finances, it's how you live together, it's doing dishes, it's the toothpaste, there's so many things that need new agreements around. And this is one of them. And obviously this one is very delicate because based on the age of the child and based on the situation, you want it to be a loving situation for the child. Their experience is the utmost importance. So the question is, how can you bring loving, compassionate communication to this? How can you have it be so that, like you said, this is the way I would really like the parenting to be, and this is the situation, and this is normally how I would do it. However, being open to her way, because you married her because you love her, and so you probably love the way that she brings things to your life that are new and different than you normally would. So I would say that, my perspective is looking at it as a beautiful opportunity to how are we going to create the new rules, the new ways that we do things in our family, and how can that be not necessarily my way and your way and a right way because of how it used to be, but how can we co-create it in a way that works for everybody?
So in summary, we talked about having compassion for your partner, open communication, especially in new environments, having a list of your own, coming to a conversation of what are your standards, what are your guidelines, what do you believe in, so you can even get clear yourself, and then approaching it very gently just as you would a child. So I think these are really important ways that you can begin to approach it. So if you have any stories of a similar situation in your relationship, we'd love to hear about it. So go ahead and comment below.
And for additional support with your relationship, you could click subscribe for more Relationship 911.
And we offer one-on-one coaching for couples and relationships. So if that's something that's interesting to you, go ahead and go over to janandmonika.com and schedule a free consultation today.
Awesome. See you there.